Hi everybody. I hope you can hear this because I don't have a microphone in the room where I'm at. So we'll give it a try. If it doesn't work out, then I'll just delete this video and start over, do something somewhere else. But I can let me tell you a little bit about why I thought that this might be a worthwhile video to make. I like to go over on Reddit. I started using Reddit when I was looking at like true crime stories, and then gradually, I sort of drifted to some other areas that I'd never really been familiar with. And one of the areas that I ended up in, just due to interest level, is because of my own YouTube channel that I've been, I've kind of used it more like a social media. Haven't really taken care of it, made an effort to like grow and things like that. But you guys know that I have simplified my life, and I'm absolutely feeling better already, and it's only been a few weeks. And so now I'm thinking that I may try to kind of be a bit more intentional with my YouTube channel and try to, increase the quality of what I'm putting out there, rather than it just being kind of a simple, fun, just a place for me and my friends to talk. And so I'm giving it some thought, but part of that exploration was to end up in some of these, subreddits that are talking about new YouTube creators, or growing your YouTube channel, or why isn't my YouTube channel growing, those types of information rabbit holes. And right away, I was so surprised that, I don't know why it surprised me, but right away, it jumped out at me. People in a lot of different areas on this whole YouTube rabbit hole. There were a lot of areas, whether it was in gaming, where there's streamers that are playing their games, whether it is like crafting or travel videos was a big one. And I thought, well, in the true crime community, somebody has even like coined our own little term called crama, right? The intersection between crime and drama. And inevitably, can we just be honest that the so-called crama content is really bullying? No, I don't think not all of it. Let me be careful about saying that, because I don't think all of it could be considered bullying. But I do think that there are some creators that take it on, they take it offline, and they start by doxing you, right? These true crime creators that are like this. If you do or say something that they don't like, if you go in the wrong channel, you talk to the wrong people, then they have to get control, I assume. They have to get control of the other subs, the other people in their community, and say, hey, don't go over to that other channel. We don't like them over there. And if you think you're going to follow in the footsteps of, your friend, let me show you what's in store. And what is in store is, first of all, you'll be called out publicly and embarrassed and humiliated. And they're not above lying. They will lie about you. I've got one particular bully who, in this crazy kind of delusional thought, she's invented all kinds of crap about me getting a facelift and getting all my teeth pulled out. But they're not above lying. They're not above creating narratives that are completely false, that they have no idea what they're talking about. And then if that's not enough, then they'll actually put your real name out there. They'll put your legal name, which is actually called doxing. If you yourself have not put your name out, you don't want to be known publicly Even if you don't have a picture up anywhere, they don't care. They'll put your name out there. If that doesn't get you under control, then they'll begin to say things about where you live. And then if that's not enough, then they'll actually bring up your children. They'll dox your children. They'll call your children's workplace. And it's horrifying. When you get to that point, when you've stopped making kind of funny little comments, haha, and you're now targeting someone's real life to interfere and harm them, you are officially a criminal. You're breaking the law. It's illegal to dox someone, and it is absolutely bullying. The people that experience this type of behavior, they do develop trauma symptoms depending on how far the doxing and the invasion into your real life depends on how far it goes. I know several people from the true crime community, they were bullied by the same person, and the disruption in their real life was significant enough that they quit coming on YouTube because they were afraid of what was going to happen in their own community, in their own town, in their own job. So we have to draw a line somewhere, you know? And I think that where the power is, because what's driving this whole thing, I believe, is views and subscribers. I think that when you hear your favorite creator, I don't care who it is, when you hear your favorite creator given the first and last name of someone that they have been targeting, I think that's where you hit the unsubscribe button and you refuse to watch anything they put out for 2 weeks. Why do I say 2 weeks? To make yourself known. To make it known that I'm not going to support this. I'm not going to support doxing and putting another person into real life danger. Is it going to be the danger that a crazy person is going to get the information and come to your house? Although that has happened. There's other kinds of dangers, like when you call somebody's job. When you call somebody's job, you are attempting slander. You are attempting to disrupt their professional reputation or their vocational reputation. You are you're trying to make employment of that person a problem for the company owner, in hopes that maybe the company owner will just go, oh, you know what? I don't know this strange person calling me from who God knows where, but maybe they know this employee better than I do, so I don't want to deal with them. I've got a professional reputation with my company, so I'm just going to get rid of them. You're hoping for that when you begin to call people's jobs in real life. That is illegal. That can land you 3 years in jail in Texas and a whole lot of money. So be very careful, because some of us creators, we also own the business that you're calling. Some of us may have attorneys on retainer because we are business owners. And if that's not enough, how about let's consider how would you feel if somebody did that to your family member, okay? So what do you do then? Because I don't think, here's what I don't think. I don't think that these people that are bullying online, I don't think that they go to a channel on YouTube and they watch it 1 or 2 times and then they say, hey, I think I'm going to bully this creator, or I think I'm going to bully this subscriber. I don't think it happens after 1 or 2 occurrences. I think it happens when a certain personality has kind of gotten into a power struggle, and it's tit for tat, tit for tat, tit for tat, tit for tat. And they're trying, each time it's escalating, because each time, regardless what side it's coming from, each time the person is saying, oh, you think you can do that to me? Watch what I'm about to do to you. And so naturally, each step up is escalating a little bit like the Ukraine and Russia. We don't want to see an escalation. The rational, logical people are going, no, I don't think it's going to help to introduce more planes into Ukrainian airspace, because Putin is absolutely going to take that as a provocation. We got to find another way to get to Putin and say, hey, calm down, back off, there's another way. So we want to avoid, if you're online, you have a YouTube channel, or you're a subscriber, the biggest thing, I think, the biggest step is provocation. Now, there's a problem with avoiding escalation. If you are trying to avoid escalation, sometimes it can be really hard to keep your mouth shut. Some of the things that people can say about you may not be true, and it may be things that are embarrassing or hurtful that they're saying about you, and so you naturally kind of want to step up and defend yourself, right? But that's what they're counting on. They're counting on your wish or your need to defend yourself. And the question that I would ask the YouTube creator or the subscriber, the question that I would ask is, why give in to that compulsion to protect? Why give in to the compulsion to set the record straight? The reality is, the person that's bullying you, except in some very rare circumstances, person that's bullying you is someone that really doesn't know you, and they don't have any kind of access to your real life, right? Oh no, they know my address. They know that. Well, yeah, they do, but they don't know what you're doing in your home, right? They may know what the outside of your house looks like. They may put up photographs of your house or whatever, but they don't know what you're doing in your house. They don't know what you're doing at your job. So when they begin this assault on the outside, on your real life, the outside world, outside of YouTube or outside Instagram, when they start that, you've just really got to become really logical. You've really got to become really concrete and say, hey, wait a minute. I know what they're saying. They're giving the impression that they may know me. They may know what I'm doing in my real life. I've even seen some bullies that have said to their victims, oh, your ex-wife is talking. Your ex-wife sent me an email, and we've been talking all about you, and we know all about you. Your child's boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. They say these things trying to make you think that someone, it may be, telling things about your real life. They're not. They're counting on the compulsion to defend yourself. Does that make sense? So if they're counting on the compulsion to defend yourself, you just have to keep things really fact-based and say, well, hold on a minute. Now, it's easy to find out where people live. It's easy to find out what their real name is. But that's about all they know, right? They just know the basic facts. They don't really know what's there. Had somebody recently say something about me like, oh, and your husband, who is so happy with you, supposedly so happy with you. It may upset this person that me and my husband are happy. We've been best friends since we were kids. But the way she said it suggested, nah, maybe you're not so happy, which makes you laugh, right? But if you are someone, let's say that maybe you've had some trouble in your marriage, maybe you are considering that you want to leave and get a divorce or whatever, and then some troll approaches you with that kind of comment, it can really get under your skin and really begin to bother you and make you think, wow, maybe this person does know something about me and my personal life. They don't. People are not going to reach out. 9 times out of 10, people are not going to reach out to a stranger and say, let me tell you about my personal life, in order to hurt somebody on YouTube. People just don't do that. Now, there's also another kind of bullying where we get really chummy with people online, right? It's very easy to do on YouTube because there's always at least one person in the conversation that's really active. So all of you guys that come into the channel and we all talk, you really do feel like you know me because you see me many times. I don't do all my videos, live with the camera on, but I used to go live every time, I think, but now I kind of temper it a little bit. But you may feel like you really know me, but the fact is, if you may see me in Macy's or Nordstrom's or something, and you may go, oh my God, there she is, I know her. Come over and say, hey girl, you're such and such. I really probably wouldn't know you, right? I mean, if you said your name, then I'd have this image of who I think you are, the way I see your personality, but I wouldn't recognize you across the aisle, you know? So we have to be very careful when we get online and we feel like we know people because we're having a lot of conversation about topics related to true crime or politics or something. We have to be really careful not to let that translate in our minds to, oh, I know this person. I think this person must be a really good person, right? You got to be really careful of that. I think the trolls they understand that if they come in and they immediately start trolling right off the bat, you're just going to get rid of them. You're not going to give them an in. Most trolls come in and they befriend you on YouTube. They'll be the first ones that come into your channel and begin to buddy up to you and tell you who to watch out for. They'll begin to tell you, oh, such and such said something about you, but I had your back. They're really going to work really hard to ingratiate you. It's a lot like love bombing. You begin to trust them. You make them a mod, and then things start happening. And you're like, that's weird. Why is this person not modded? Why did this one person get unmodded? No, you don't know, right? Why are these people getting blocked? They are regular channel members. I don't understand why they're being blocked. So then you'll know that you have somebody in your channel that you've entrusted and they're making decisions that are hurting your channel rather than helping your channel. You'll know these people when you figure out who they are, you take the wrench away, you have a full-blown troll and they're mad and they come at you hard. So those are two different kinds of scenarios. One where you begin to trust somebody too quickly and you give them your phone number, you begin talking offline. As you're talking offline, you begin sharing more about your personal life. Oh, my husband, he didn't come home last night. I don't know where he is. Or my child's been diagnosed with cancer. I don't know what to do. You begin thinking this person is close to you and they're trustworthy, and you can reveal some of the most difficult aspects of your life, and then you've given a would-be troll, you've given an incredible amount of information to harm you with. But remember what I said, you go back to that first troll who really doesn't know anything about you other than what's publicly available information, and they say things counting on your need to defend yourself, and then once they get you to respond, then they got you hooked in that dynamic, and then the escalation begins. Boom, boom, boom. So avoid each one of those scenarios. Limit who you give your phone number to. I'm going to tell you this right up. Don't give your phone number to anyone from YouTube or Instagram or anyone else. Don't do it. Hear me loud and clear. Don't. If you feel like your channel is becoming your job, it's your profession or whatever, then you can go and you can get a burner phone. Right? And there's a lot of people that have gotten Google throwaway type numbers. They have some problems in terms of privacy, but if you just go to Walmart and get you a burner phone and then, let that be. But don't get comfortable. I'm telling you, I've seen people here that have been friends for a couple of years and then they have a falling out, and damn, there is so much ammunition out there. So be very discerning about what your topic of conversation is with people online and how much you trust them. I think that it's probably a really good rule of thumb to limit any future kind of, fallout. When you're talking to people online, maybe restrict your conversation to things that are happening online and not try to talk about friends or family or employment to people online, because that's your real life. So you keep your real life friends conversations about your real life. You keep your online friends conversations about things happening online. And that also may insulate you from any kind of future, backlash or fallout. Now, let's get back to this compulsion that we all feel to protect ourselves, to stand up for ourselves, to correct the record, to make it right, things like that. if one person says something wrong or inaccurate about, or something accurate about you, but it's not very nice, you don't like it, it hurts feelings. If they say it about you in their channel, and they get that video where they say it gets 3,000 views, only 3,000 people have heard it. And most of them aren't going to remember it because it's not pertinent to them. They don't care, and so their brain doesn't remember it, doesn't encode it. But if you give in to that urge, we've all felt the urge to protect ourselves or protect our kids or that kind of thing. You give in to that urge, and then you sit down and you make your video, which is a big go to hell, I hate you, you're a liar, you did this, what about when you did that, blah, 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 blah. Well, and now your video is going to get 4,000 views because you're a lot more upset. And what do we know about YouTube? People love the drama, right? People love the drama. You'll get a creator whose regular videos get 1,000 views, but let them go on a screaming, running tirade one night, and they're going to get 5, 6, 7,000 views. Why do people like the drama? Well, they're going in and they're watching you freak out because they think you look weird. They're watching you in this big emotion where, you're a little herky-jerky, you're ugly face crying, you're not making much sense as you rattle and rave, and people are watching and they're going, damn, what the hell? This is crazy. And then you become the focus of conversation for a week or so. Except in that week or so, if you escalate by responding, now you make it worse, you've gone up a step, and it's going to be talked about longer. You can limit what 3,000 people would have heard. A tenth of them would encode it into long-term memory to be able to even remember what was said. But when you respond and up the ante, then they're going to laugh and they're going to go, haha, gotcha. They're going to escalate. Then the other side's going to escalate. The word is going to be on the streets, and it's going to go around to all the channels, and everybody's going to flock to your channel, and they're going to listen to the debacle. They're going to be going, what now? Why is she upset? Why is she so upset? What happened? When did this start? Let me learn more about this. And before you know it, you got 15, 20,000 people that know you at your worst. And so you go, well, what's wrong with that? That's views. That's new subscribers. That's people that I can grow my channel with. That's people that came to laugh at you. That's people that came to laugh and giggle and be part of a team, right? To have a big basketball drama kind of competition. And those are people that when you go back to trying to do your intended content, the content that you find interesting and enjoyable, they're not going to watch. They're clicking in, you're calm, you're relaxed, you're being rational, you're making good content, but they're going to be like, this boring, let's go find somebody that's losing their mind so we can make fun of them. That's reality. That's what's happening. So either way, don't give them ammunition. There's your first rule of thumb. Don't give them ammunition. And the way that you end up giving them ammunition is by trusting. And if you give out your phone number, if you begin texting in the middle of the day back and forth, all of those things build up confidence, you're telling more about each other's lives, and before you know it, if you have a falling out, they're going to have a great deal of information about you. It actually did happen to Critical K in a way that was horrifying for someone like me. I was horrified what people did to her. She did reach out to some people about a really, really serious and critical real life problem. When they had fallen out, this person put the information out there, and it was terrible. It happened to somebody else that I really like and respect, another big YouTube creator, and it was awful. And in both of those situations, It was information that was given to someone that they made friends with, that they thought was their friend. Got an eyelash in my eye. In both of those circumstances, it was someone that they had made friends with. They had shared an upsetting story about. Wow. Hold on. Ha, got it. I'm sorry about that. In both circumstances, it was a situation it was a situation where they had made friends with someone. They'd been friends for just someone online. They'd been friends with them for, 6-8 months or so. And they had revealed some really big secrets about their real life, some traumas, that had happened in their real life. And as soon as it went to hell in a handbasket, that information was given to the enemy, and the enemy was tickled to death to put it out there and capitalize on it. So please, if you think there's someone online that you would like to be your real friend, then make arrangements to meet for coffee. Make it a real life friendship. Both people need to have skin in the game, in my opinion. So I just would resist the urge if it was me. And I've been online for 3-4 years on YouTube. I've got some really good friends like Critters, Zelda, and lots of y'all. I'm not leaving y'all out. I'm just trying to get through my thing. We don't text back and forth every day. We don't share a lot of information about our personal lives because we recognize it's beneficial for everybody to have healthy boundaries, right? And if you're online, the boundary should be to have these discussions about stuff that's online. And if you're friends in real life, then you kind of keep that real life. I recently had a person go, "Oh, you think you're so anonymous? You think you can get online and say terrible things because you're anonymous." Okay, what? That makes no sense. If you go back through my channel, I have done hundreds of videos where everybody can see my face. I don't hide the fact that I'm from Houston. I don't know what the weirdness of you're anonymous and you think you say mean things. No, I haven't said mean things. I said accurate things. But again, that was a perfect example. That was a perfect situation where just what I said, each side kind of escalates until somebody finally gets their feelings hurt, and then, or the least principled among us, those with low morals, then they're willing to go real life and start calling jobs and trying to get people hurt in real life. Let me say this too, to those of you that are trying to find out information about how to handle your bullies. Look at it this way: when your bullies go online and they start calling real people in your life, they've lost. That you can sit and smile if somebody calls real life. I know it's an invasion. I know it makes you angry. I know it really pisses you off, but just stop a minute and think about it. Who lost control? The person that lost control is the person who went real life because they were so big upset they couldn't manage the emotion that they were experiencing, and then so they say, "Well, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you. You shut up. Quit talking about me. I'm gonna hit you." And since you can't hit, on the internet, on YouTube, then the slap is reaching out into your real life. Most people that are healthy, rational, they recognize, no, you don't call out to real life people and try to hurt their jobs, try to hurt the income coming into their family, because the things that happen on YouTube are just silly. They're just foolish. They're just people spending social time. Certainly nothing's happened online Maybe every now and then something horrific will take place, but for the most part, the things that are happening online are not sufficient to warrant a person losing their job. It really, if people are incompetent, or they're drinking so much that they shouldn't be doing the job they're doing, their job already knows that way before the hateful, crazy creator who's going to dox you. The hateful, crazy creator who's going to dox you is showing their grandiosity, their delusions of grandeur of, I'm going to call the employer and tell them that person drinks and uses pills, and they shouldn't be working, doing what they're doing. What makes that creator with delusions of grandeur think that they know another YouTube creator better than that creator's employer? You go to an employer 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. The people there know much, much better how you're managing life than somebody who watches me make a YouTube video. You're watching a little snapshot of a highly controlled, situation. So it is, if you're the one that is calling and trying to hurt people, you're doxing people, you're going on your platform, you're saying people's first and last name, their profession, what they do, their location. If you're the one doing that, then really and truly, the rest of us out here watch, and we recognize you're the one that may need to get some help. You're the one that may be a bit unstable. So going real life is really, there's something else going on underneath the surface if you've chosen to try to harm somebody in real life. Now then, so for YouTube creators that have unfortunately attracted some trolls, if you want to call them trolls or bullies or whatever we're doing to use, and they're poking at you and they're bothering you and they're trying to get a reaction, they're counting on your urge and your compulsion to stand up, protect yourself. Remember what I said. If you limit today the information that you put out about yourself, then that reduces the amount of ammunition that's out there to harm you with. So YouTube creators, be careful who you're communicating with and what you're communicating about, okay? The other thing is, and I use this example of the Ukraine and Russia. I'm not doing that blindly. I'm not doing that in a way that disregards the enormity of the situation that's happening. It is a problem of escalation. Once one side has lobbied the first round, right? At that point, then it becomes a question of who's going to escalate and when. I'm going to tell you, hands down across the board, if you've got a group of trolls or flying monkeys or whatever we want to call them, if they've targeted you, no response is the fastest way to move them along. 100%. I challenge you to go online and look at people that have put up websites or whatnot, and they've made these videos about how do you manage bullying online. The very first thing that's at the top of every single list is don't feed the trolls. Just don't feed them. They get bored. Remember what I said, they're counting on your compulsion to protect yourself because they want to see you freaking out. These are the people that laugh when they see somebody crying. If they see somebody fall down and bust their butt, they're cracking up. They think it's hilarious to see people that are acting out of the ordinary. I know why they do, but I'm not, that's beyond the scope of this video. So if you deny them that, then what do you think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to go, oh, well, I think this is a pretty good person. I think I'll stick around and just become a normal user? No. They're going to go, this person's not going to respond. This is boring. Hey, let's go back over to this other channel where the person, freaks out and their head pops off their shoulders. That's fun, right? So they're pushing, they're trying to get a reaction. They want to see a screaming, crying fit, and then they sit back with their popcorn and have a good time. Okay? So just don't give them that. One of the tools that YouTube gives us, it's really, really powerful in helping you manage whether you're going to escalate or not, is moderating the comments. Okay? Go in, you've got a couple different levels. You can moderate every comment. You can moderate comments that may have something bad in them and then the YouTube computer will kind of weed them through. Or you can leave it wide open. And I got news for you guys, especially if you're covering controversial topics like true crime. Leaving all the comments open turns your channel into the wild, wild west. All it takes is for one person to come along and make a comment about pedo, and you are then in a race against time to get it off before somebody else turns you in and gets your channel taken down. So I just think one of the things I wish that I had known when I first did my YouTube that I know now, I wish I had paid more attention to moderating comments. At this point, mine is set to moderate comments all the time, every comment. So if you see you make a comment, you don't see it up, it didn't get deleted, I just haven't approved it yet. No comment's going to go up until I've hit the check mark. It's my right. It's my channel, and I don't want people bullying each other, and I certainly don't want to bully me. And so I can keep my channel as clean as I want it to be. Okay? All right. Again, I've seen on Reddit people saying, well, what do I do about bullying? What do I do when they find me and they're leaving these horrible, comments? What you don't do is you don't read the comments out loud. Now, some of the people on Reddit have said, oh, that's a gold mine. Listen to this. Oh, that's a gold mine. That's so great if you find a group of trolls that come into your channel and they start flame wars, That's a good thing. Why? Because it gets views up. It gets your views up. And if you get into a good argument back and forth, then you're going to get subscribers because they're not going to want to miss the next argument. Is it possible that those answers could be given by trolls? That are the trolls that are trying to fight this message of don't feed the trolls? Yes, that's who it is. If the word gets around, you can moderate comments so that you rob them of their power. They can't put their hateful crap out there. If you choose not to respond, you're just very quiet as you ban that troll that comes in your side chat talking crap. It's no fun for them. It's not fun. They want to have fun. They want you to be cussing and telling you where to go. They laugh at that. They think it's funny. They like it. It feeds them. So you want to deny that. If the number one best, most often provided suggestion by social psychologists, YouTube the organization, creators that have successful channels, if they're all telling you the top thing is don't feed the trolls, and then you get some bozos that come into your subreddit where you've said, what should I do about my trolls? And they say, oh, it's so good to have trolls. Keep them around. Say things back to them that's offensive. You want to keep it going for views and subscribers. Guess what's going to end up happening? Your channel where you've been trying to talk about lighting, cinematic lighting, is no longer about cinematic lighting. It now is reduced to the heap of drama channels that fail in a year. Avoid it at all costs. Don't feed the trolls. Use the moderate comments button that is provided by YouTube. I'm going to say it again, do not read the offensive comments out loud to your channel. I've seen creators do that. I've absolutely never understood why someone does that. It's not going to shame the trolls. Just because you read what they wrote and say, oh, you see, these are little boys, go back to your mommy or your grandma's basement. They think that's funny. They laugh. Any teacher of junior high will tell you, you can't shame a 14 or 15-year-old boy. It's impossible. Okay? So don't read the comments. Don't read the hateful, ugly comments. Don't do it. I'm telling you, you're just going to feed them. They're going to like it. You're making them famous. They like it. Don't do it. All right. Finally, and this is where, you get kind of mommy sounding, and I don't want to, I'm a mom to a couple of kids who are now really big grown kids. I'm a mom to them. I'm not a mom to the people that are, in my channel. Y'all are all awesome. We're good friends. But sometimes when we open our mouths, we hear our own mother's voice come out, right? And this is one of those moments. So bear with me. Above anything else, if you take the steps, you don't feed the troll, you get rid of them, let them get bored as quickly as you can. Always moderate your comments. Set that in your video setting. If you take those steps, and still, some comments get through, you got to remember, you don't like everyone that you meet, and not everyone is going to like you. We're animals first before we're human, and sometimes we have personality clashes. My personality, perhaps even something about the way I look, it may trigger somebody else to think about an abusive mom that they had, or an old girlfriend, or an ex-wife they had that they hate their ex-wife, and I look just like her. Okay? We don't know why sometimes people don't like us. We don't know why sometimes people target us, and maybe they don't even know why, right? So try to keep that in perspective. When you really get pushed and you really want to respond and hurt somebody back, it's really better that you don't. In the end, when somebody is pushed to the point that they have to dox another person, especially a credible person, if you're doxing someone who is a credible person, your subscribers are going to go, why did this person that I thought was normal, why are they now doxing a regular human being? And you're going to lose people when that happens. So be really careful to just, remember what your mama said. We're not always going to like each other. And if there are people you don't like, don't play with them. Go play with the group of kids that you do like, right? If you don't like a channel, if you don't like a channel creator, why go watch? It's just going to irritate you. Don't. Just go over to the group that you like. Unless you're a troll, then you're going to grow into that creator's channel and wreak havoc and have much joy as you're doing it. I think the last thing that I have to say, again, is another one of those things that I think almost everybody says when they're addressing this situation, and that is being online every single day for hours and hours is really unhealthy for you. You're not keeping the same viewers during all that time. These are different viewers that are coming in and out as you do, 5-hour lives every single day. It's good for your channel views. It's good for your algorithm, but it is exhausting. And the people that come into your channel may be intentionally trying to bother you. And sometimes we have to fight really hard the compulsion to respond, I think that one thing that I've learned that I really hadn't thought much about it until I really got to thinking about maybe working more on my channel. That when you decide to take your channel to the next level, and this is something I don't know to be true personally, but that I've learned in the last week or so. When you decide that you want to take your channel to the next level, and you're mapping out a plan for what you want to kind of change a little bit, what parts you want to keep, what you want to improve. 9 times out of 10, this will be the first step to go from just a neophyte channel that's just, well, I used to call it a hobby channel because I didn't know what else, to call it. But you just got a channel where everybody's just kind of getting together, talking about it, topics, information that we all like. When you're ready to move from that type of a setting into a setting that's a little bit different level of content, the very first thing is to do just like you're writing, and that is make an outline, have specific information, have a specific goal or objective for that video, limit the video in time, and then at the end, wrap it all up and put a summary on it. The people that I've been talking to and watching with regard to this idea, they've all said the same thing, and that is you can make a video and you can stay online chatting. If you're an extrovert, if you're a personable person and conversation comes easily to you, you can get online and you can keep these lives going for hours and hours and hours, and that does increase your views and that kind of thing. But what it does is it badly damages your algorithm with YouTube. It confuses the algorithm because the algorithm can't figure out what your channel is about. And if the algorithm can't figure out what your channel is about, then it doesn't know to whom to market your video. So by being very specific, he said that the algorithm, the computer, is listening. I tell it what to listen to with the title and the description, and then as I'm talking, the computer is listening for those words that get repeated, and then it knows where to market it. It knows what the area to send that video to and share it with users. If you're staying online for 4, 5, 6 hours, then you are talking about many different topics, and the computer doesn't know what to do, and so you fall into the trash heap of YouTube. Okay, what may have been a really wonderful, great video in the first 30 minutes or first hour, and then you follow up like I have, you follow up with another hour or two of conversation, I've totally just destroyed the algorithm for what would have been a video that would have been widely shared. It's very interesting to learn about. Okay? All right, so, and if you're planning out if you've got an outline for your video, you know exactly what you're going to say, you have your objectives for your video and what it is that you want to accomplish in a 30-minute time period or an hour time period, then you don't have time to get sucked into the madness of the trolls, right? If you're focused on your goal, then it's very difficult to be taken into a tangent. All right. That being said, don't feed the trolls, number one. Guard your real life privacy. Don't share information about your real life, especially things that are traumatic or close to your family. Don't do that. Moderate all your comments. I was trying to remember in my head. Moderate all your comments on each video. Don't ever allow your comments to be wide open on a YouTube video. And don't read the offending comments that do get through. Don't put them out there. And remember what your mama always said. Not everybody is going to like you. If you don't like the kids over here, then don't play with them. Go play with the kids over there. And I think mama always knows best, right? Y'all have a great day. Bye.